So today we're going to be doing 3.4 guided notes. We're doing matrices with a graphing calculator. So I've got my calculator here we can show you, and then I'm going to show you the notes here as we go along. So just to get us started, we want to talk about how to write a system in a matrix. And notice you'll see x, y, z, and then they're all equal to this constant. So really all this ends up being is we're just going to take the coefficients. So make sure that you guys pay attention to the signs that go along with them. So I'm going to look at this first row here. So 4x, so I'm not going to put the x, negative 3y, not going to put the y, and positive 5z. Okay, that's row 1. Row 2, 4, negative 3, and 1. Because remember there's a little 1 there with the z. And my third row, 2, negative 5, oh, lies. Because look at what I just realized. There is no x. There's a y and a z, so that means 0 for the x, 2 for the y, and negative 5 for the z. So if we were to multiply these, we would multiply it by a matrix x, y, z. And that's how we would get this happening right here with our system. So then it's going to be equal to a matrix that just has our coefficient, our constants at the end. So 5, negative 15, and negative 25. So this is how I would write a system into matrix form. So we're going to show you guys how to solve these today. So I'm going to walk you through a few things here. When I'm entering a matrix, the first thing I'm going to do is go second. So look at the calculator. I'm going to press second. And then x to the negative first. Well, if you look x to the negative first, in blue it says matrix above it. And then I'm going to go right, and press enter on edit. So I'm going to go right, and enter on edit. There's a few matrices already in here, but you'll type the dimensions. So if I want to get rid of these dimensions and make it a 2, enter by 3, enter. Notice every time I put in a number, I'm pressing enter. And we can just clear these matrices out as well. We can delete them. Or you can just write over the top of them. Okay, so if I wanted to put these numbers in, I can just write over the top of what's already there. All right, and then in order to leave, we would just do second mode, and in blue that says quit, so that brings us back to our home screen. And then we would type in our second matrix by doing the same thing, but we'll go second to x to the negative first, over to edit, but I don't want to edit matrix A anymore. I want to edit matrix B. We would press enter, put in our new dimensions, whatever they may be, and then put in our numbers before we do second mode to get out of there. Okay, so that's how we're going to enter a matrix. So make sure you guys rewind and rewatch that if you're going, wait, how did I do that again? And you can follow along with the graphing calculator on your phone or if you have one at home. Okay, so when I want to solve a system, I have to first enter both of my matrices, and then really all we're doing to solve the system is we're going to do A inverse B. Well, the reason we do that is because when I set it up originally, here would be our B, or our A and our B. And so in order to solve, we would always do the opposite, like we do. All right, so I would go opposite of A onto both sides in order to get X, Y, and Z by themselves. So this is something you guys really need to lock in. A inverse B is like the golden key for solving matrices. All right, so we would do exactly what we just did. We would go second, x to the negative first, and we would enter our A. So if I have already made matrix A, I would just say second, x to the negative first, and I would press enter, and that selects matrix A. And if I want it to be an inverse, I would go press that x to the negative first power like we say in your notes. So that gives us our A inverse, and then we would want to select matrix B. So second matrix, go down to B, press enter, and I know that we did not actually do matrices to put in here, but you would press enter, and yeah, it's invalid because they're not appropriate sizes. So, but that's how you would set up your A inverse B, and you would do that for any of your matrices. So you'd set up A, you'd set up B, and then you would just do A inverse B and let the calculator do it for you. So let's look at a couple things here. Let's look at how I would solve this system. So I'm going to look at this system. Matrix A are the numbers on the left. So we would have 4, -3, 5. This is our A. We'd have 4, -3, 1, and then 0, 2, -5. So this is A. And then here's B. Okay. So if I want to solve, remember we're just going to go ahead and do A inverse B, and that's going to get us a new matrix that gives us our X, Y, and Z. So I'm going to, in the calculator, with you guys, do this. So second matrix, over to edit. We're going to edit matrix A. It goes row, then column. So this will be 1, 2, 3 rows. So this will be a 3 by 3 because there's 1, 2, 3 columns as well. And I'm going to go down and enter my values. So 4, -3, make sure you're using a negative sign, not a minus sign. 5, and then it brings us down. 4, -3, 1. Last row, 0, 2, and -5. Okay, so now we're going to go out, second mode, and we're going to go ahead and jump right back in and make matrix B. So got to my matrix, went over to edit. I want to edit matrix B now. So this is a 3 by 1. And you'll know if you've done the dimensions right or not, if it becomes the size that you're looking for it to be. Notice it resets itself. So then we got 5, -15, and -25. And we're going to hop on out, and now I'm going to create my A inverse B. So second matrix, that's going to be something to get used to. Now we're going to name in order to select it. We don't want to edit it anymore. We've already edited. So we're going to select A, go inverse, so there's my A inverse, and then we're going to select B, so second matrix, down to B, and now I can just press enter. And that gets me -5, 0, and 5. So what that means is that X is -5, Y is 0, and Z is 5. So this just solved a system of equations for us, okay, using matrices. So this is what we're looking for, X, Y, and Z. All right, so let's practice another one. So I'm going to set up matrix A, -2, 6, -3. Make sure to watch for your signs. 3, 1, and 3, and -2, 4, and 6. Matrix B is 12, -15, and -6. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put that into our calculator, and we want to get A inverse B. So once they're into the calculator, we're just going to make that happen here. So matrix, over to edit, select A. It's already a 3 by 3, so we can just move along, enter, enter, and then we'll put in our new values. So you guys can see exactly how I would do all of these. Definitely try them on your own. If you're feeling lost, do them with me. All right, watch what I do and pause, and then do it. And then watch what I do again, pause, and do it. All right, so there's matrix A. So now we're going to jump back in. We're going to go edit matrix B. Still a 3 by 1, 12, -15, and -6. All right. So now we're going to do A inverse B, and if your calculator has the ability to go up, you can just reselect A inverse B and press enter. If it does not, you will go second matrix, select A, press our X inverse, second matrix, go down and select B, and press enter. All right, so our matrix is -3, 0, -2. So again, that means X is -3, Y is 0, and Z is -2. So that would be the matrix we're looking for. All right, let's look at that next problem on your notes here. Example 4, we want to solve this system. So same thing, matrix A, and matrix B, and then we'll put them in our matrix in the calculator. So we'll go and edit matrix A, and we'll edit matrix B. All right, and now we will do A inverse B. Notice we're saying a lot of second matrix, doing a lot of that, and press enter. What? An error? Just kidding. It's okay. It should have been an error. Okay, so when you get something like this and you know 100% that you have put them in correctly, that is no solution. It's saying there's a singular matrix. It's kind of saying, hey, it didn't work. That didn't work. Your calculator's panicking. That is okay, no solution. If that happens outside of this, make sure you go back and you double check your matrix, make sure all your numbers are correct. But definitely if this happens, it just means no solution. Sometimes that happens. All right, so we want to find our determinant now. So here's our matrix. Well, if I go into my calculator here and I do second matrix and I go over to math, this is the first time we're using math. Number 1 here is DET. All right, if this is not on that calculator, I had you guys download the internet, Google, say determinant calculator, and you will be able to find a million. So we're going to go matrix A, and we're going to edit, and we're going to change this to a 1, 2, 3 by 3. Oh, we're still there. All right. So -4, -3. Yeah, this takes a second to plug these in. All right, so now we're going to go out and we're going to go second matrix where all the good stuff is, over to math because we're saying I want to actually do an operation with it now. And DET for determinant, we'll press enter, and then it says, well, what do you want me to take the determinant of? Matrix A, please, and press enter. So our determinant of A is going to be -127. So always good to let the calculator help you out when necessary. All right. So this is the same matrix. We're going to practice a different operation, so I don't have to go in and change the matrix. I want to find the inverse, okay? Well, that's just the first half that we have already done. So we're going to go second matrix, A, hit the inverse, and press enter. So this is going to give you a messy looking matrix. And if you want fractions, remember, same as how we always do, we're going to say math, enter, enter. So here's fraction on the first enter, and enter to complete it. And here would be your matrix that you guys can put right there. Okay, so that would go right here as our A inverse. Okay, if I could draw an arrow, it goes from all the way. Watch how fun that'll be. Yeah, put that matrix right there. All right, so now looking at this one, this just says A times 6 times B. Well, once we get A and B put in, all we do is put it into the calculator just like we do everything else. So A is still the same. That saves us a little bit of time. But let's go ahead and go put B in. All right, B is a 1, 2, 3 by 2. So the 3 can stay. The 2 is going to go here. So we'll get -8. 4. Next row. All right. So now that we have this, we're going to go ahead and close out. I'm going to clear that screen, give us a fresh start. A, 6, B. So we're going to go in and select matrix A. So now it's just a thing in our calculator. We're going to multiply it. That's what that dot means. 6B. So all this is really just being multiplied. So we're going to go in and we're going to select matrix B. So what that's going to do is we're going to multiply B by 6. So it's going to take 6 here and multiply to everything in here. And then it's going to multiply those two matrices together, but it's going to do all that for us. Ta-da! So A times 6B ends up being this matrix here. The most common thing we see when it comes to errors is please make sure that your matrix is actually typed in correctly. That's the most common thing that I see is I'll look over, somebody will say, that's not what I got. I look at their matrix and they missed a negative somewhere or put a 4 instead of a 5. Okay, so that's always your first thing that you guys need to check. So hope that helped, hope that made sense. And good luck as you get working on your practice.